Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dad and Buried Show. This week we're talking about kids and money and how expensive, unless you can expense.
Oh God, that would be amazing if you
parenting
could expense
is.
your kids.
Do you know some like salesman friends who expense the shit of everything?
Yeah.
God, those people make me sick. No offense to all my sales followers out there, sales-based followers. I couldn't do it.
But what, expense your kids?
No, I wish I could do that. I'd sell one of my kids.
Oh my God, I know.
Cut down cost and make some extra
all
money.
those amazing organs inside of them.
So we're going to get into that in a few minutes. First, we wanted to shout out to our Patreon supporters. We're up to 5.
Yes.
David Tuttle, Phil Mansfield, and Barbara Geiger, and Joseph Diachason. I hope I'm saying that right. Or on
Joseph.
The second tier. And superhero Cole Wedemeyer, Weedmeyer. No idea, Cole. Please let us know how to pronounce that.
Yeah.
He's the king shit of
Patreon
Mountain.
What a hero.
What a hero.
We'd love to read your name as well.
Yeah, we would. I really would like to read some of your names.
Yes.
A little ASMR with your names. We were talking about that earlier.
And it helps us a lot, too, because we have this... I know we obviously own this building that we bought in order to do this podcast.
Oh, obviously.
And all these books.
Yeah,
but beyond that, we have pretty shitty equipment, so it all goes to that.
True. And as everyone knows, an upgrade in the co-host position would not... It's not off the table.
Right.
All right? So...
Yeah. We worked it out a little bit off air, I guess.
See. We've had our differences, and they don't seem to be going anywhere. Anyway, if you want to hear us continue to kind of audition Pete for a few more episodes, you can listen on iTunes, Spotify, and all the podcasting places. Somebody today was like, I don't listen on iTunes. I'm like, guess what? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You know what?
We're everywhere.
Exactly.
Turn around.
Care. Bright eyes?
No.
See? Turn around. We're behind you?
Yeah. Exactly.
I was going the more romantic route.
I know. Well, that's just because you're a romantic guy. I was going more the Predator.
Well, the Predator doesn't sneak up and say that,
No,
right?
he says turn around. Remember?
Damn it, I can't do the damn noise. I can do Enemy Mine. Have you ever seen Enemy Mine with Louis Gossett Jr. in like full alien makeup and Dennis Quaid? They're like the two survivors on enemies who are on the same planet, and they hate each other, then they slowly have begrudging respect for each other.
And then eventually they fall in love. And
well, Louis Gossett Jr.
They
has
sing
a
Turn
kid.
Around, Bright Eyes.
Louis Gossett Jr. has a kid, and he's a little dude, and then when Louis Gossett Jr., spoiler alert, this is like 1983, when he dies... Dennis Quaid raises the alien boy on the other planet. It's fucking nuts, this movie. Enemy Mine.
It sounds literally like nuts.
I can do I don't want to try to do the alien's voice and fail, even though I'm very good at it. My mouth is very dry right now.
I think that's a great
maybe
idea.
I'll bring it out later.
Let's save everybody.
When we get into kids and money.
Let's keep all of our wonderful listeners listening.
You know, they make movies like Enemy Mine when there are homeless people in this country. Like, what are we spending our money on? Fucking Louis Gossett Jr. in fucking fish mask.
Damn.
Brrr. That's it. That's how they talk. Brrr, brrr. That's like their language in Enemy Mine. It's really... All right, we'll be right back, guys.
Oh, my God. We should shut this all down.
I knew I could do it. Brrr. That movie is fucking ape shit. All right, so we were just talking about the father alien son bonding, surrogate son bonding in Enemy Mine. Maybe I'll break out the voice again a little bit later. I know
everyone's gonna.
I'm pretty sure they liked it. So I don't know if you watched an alien of another sort this past weekend. Our man Tiger Woods.
Oh,
are you a golf guy? I realize we've never had I don't play golf.
No, I'm not.
I've played golf like 7 times. Yeah. And every time was at a bachelor party, and it was all like a year in between.
Yeah.
And by the time I get any semblance of a stroke,
it's over.
I have 9 holes left if I'm lucky, maybe 5,
right.
and then I don't go again for a year.
Yeah.
Right? It's like skiing, right? You got to accumulate. You got to get some 10,000 hours.
But you got to be careful because I mean, from what I've seen, people become fully addicted to
golf
sport.
Yeah. Well, I don't have time for it anyway.
I know.
And we don't have a country club that I want to sign my name to.
But you're like a sales guy, and you like to be out on the golf course.
It's true. You know me. Deals. I like to hobnob.
You like to do deals.
Yeah, I like to mingle.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm one of those guys that pays attention to all the major sports, whether I watch them or not, right? Yep. So I always know who's kind of in the mix of the majors and stuff, but I'm also one of those guys who doesn't give a shit unless Tiger's in it.
Right.
And at the end of it, it was very emotional because in 1997, when he won his first Masters, he hugged his dad, and this time he was the dad hugging his kids, who had never seen him perform on a championship level, right? Yeah, like win a major. Yeah, even he hadn't won a major in 11 years. Yeah. And I just want to know, like, did you watch that? Did you care?
I saw. Yeah, no, I saw that moment, and I was really sweet.
Did you get a little?
I got a little
verklempt.
Yeah, I was like, man, he doesn't have a babysitter. I mean, that kid's just running around the golf course.
They're probably being huge pains in the ass to everybody else is there. Please, they're like in their own luxury cabin or condo, watching off the green.
Condo.
Just saying, you think those kids are standing outside watching every fucking?
No
way.
No. People hate the current champ or the previous
champ.
Oh, I don't know.
This guy doesn't watch a lot of golf. No, so people, there's a lot of people who dislike Tiger, for perfectly valid reasons.
Okay.
All the sex addict stuff and the way he like blew up his family and all that shit. And a lot of people think he's like arrogant and weird. And one time, supposedly there's this big story on ESPN like 2 years ago where supposedly he wanted to like impress his dad posthumously and like also was fixated on Navy SEALs and like was going on all these simulated combat runs with real Navy SEALs and like thought he might want to be a Navy SEAL. And this is when he's like 30.
Right.
Just weird.
That weird. I did not know.
It's very strange.
That was
very
part
strange.
of him.
Anyway, golf is an expensive sport.
It is expensive.
I'm segueing off of that.
Okay.
I realized the Tiger thing was getting a little depressing.
Well, I mean, but golf.
It was
expensive.
exciting for me to see his big comeback. I liked it. I'm a Tiger fan.
And that moment with his kid was really sweet.
It was. It really was.
Every once in a while,
he comes through.
This parenting thing can be sweet.
Oh no, and that wasn't sweet for me. Sure, sweet for him. I'm sure parenting is pretty sweet for him a lot. He's loaded.
Yeah.
He's loaded.
And you know what you can get with when you're that loaded?
What?
Babysitters.
That's what I'm talking about. And nannies.
Shitloads of them. A lot of people do this. The money, kind of the money sign.
Making it rain.
Making it rain.
A lot of people do that
for a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, it's like I would do that for babysitters if
I
could. Like just
childcare. But you can't though, right? So instead, when you get a babysitter, it's more like making it burn because it's money you don't have.
I think it still holds up because essentially that's what you're doing anyway. But
raining, burning, setting fire to the rain, Adele.
No.
A lot of people know. A lot of moms listening to this. They're Adele fans. I like Adele.
When I first had my oldest daughter, I was like, okay, here we go. It's going to get really expensive. And here's what I'm going to spend a lot of money on. Food, diapers, and clothes. Mm-hmm. And boy, was I wrong, because that wasn't even the beginning of how expensive
I know that sure,
kids
but that doesn't mean that you didn't spend a lot of money on those things, right?
Well, what's interesting,
clothes was a very popular answer.
Food, my kids eat like birds.
They hardly eat.
Well,
we can see you. You're thin as a rail.
You should see. Well,
I asked Pete, since we're going away on spring break next week, if he what fucking snacks he eats on road trips, and he legit goes,
I don't really eat snacks.
I don't eat snacks.
Yeah, no snacks for this guy.
I was, and I told him, I was like, I knew it was either going to be no snacks or fucking trail mix or like a dried kale.
Yeah.
Which would have been worse. Actually, no snacks is still worse. Yeah. No, you know what?
Yeah.
Dried kale might be worse.
Dried kale is probably worse. But no, I let my body just kind of consume itself.
We all wish.
But I thought food was going to be a big one. It turns out you should see my daughters eat peas.
No thanks. One at a time?
At a time. It is maddening.
So, but
they can barely finish the food.
But as they get older, that food... Well, here's the two reasons foods... As they get older and they get bigger and they start to eat more, especially, I guess, boys. No, but listen. Yeah. I'm talking about teenage years. Okay. They're not there yet. They're right about there. But also, even though it's not super expensive, once they start eating your food...
Yeah.
Or you go to restaurants and you get them a meal and they don't eat it...
Ugh.
That's like...
That's
right. Yes, that's maybe not like one of the most expensive things, but it's annoyingly expensive and so frustrating. You're just a waste.
You bring it home, you pack it up. Should we pack this up? What, the 4 chicken fingers that have not been touched? Yeah, let's pack them up.
And then you end up eating them. So food came up for a lot of people, right? And it's funny because Parabolic Motion, who's a loyal Instagram fan, said he would have bought the food anyway. So he sees it as a positive that his kids don't eat because he gives it to them. But then I said, don't you eat their leftovers because you don't want it to go to waste and then you get fatter? How is it a diet?
Yeah, unless you don't eat your own food.
But he's saying his kids do eat, I guess is what he's saying,
No.
which is a luxury not all of us have, okay?
I've seen some kids just crush like an entire dinner, like a plate
That's
that
I
would
not really seen
eat
that. My
that
son,
are
every
5
once in
or
a while,
6,
my
yeah.
8-year-old, depending on what it is,
Yeah, we'll just
he'll go to town. But usually it's like fucking pulling teeth.
Yeah. Yep.
No matter what it is, he'll decide he doesn't like it.
Yes.
Like we've had the conversation where he'll ask what's for dinner. You
Yeah.
say what it is. He goes,
Yeah.
ew. And then he waits a beat and then he goes, what is that? Or have I ever had that? Like
Yeah.
he doesn't know.
No.
His knee jerk is
No.
just, and then you have to fucking
And-
cajole him into
and
eating.
You're always like, of course you've had combos before. Just eat the
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
combos
And fucking
in milk.
RC Cola or whatever the Insane Clown Posse drinks. That's what we have in our house.
There you go.
Whatever.
Fago.
Fago.
God, those guys.
Listen, whatever ICP does is okay with me.
Yeah, but you know what? We should reach out to them. I would love
Juggalo.
Juggalo to be a sponsor. The Juggalo Nation.
Yeah.
Is it Juggalo Nation or like Juggalo
I think
Family?
You're a juggalo.
It's the Pearl Jamily, which is so stupid. Supposedly that's what like hardcore Pearl Jam fans call
That's
themselves.
so irritating.
Right?
They should really.
That reminds
workshop
me of when I wrote for my high school newspaper and I wrote a review of
Oh my
my
God,
freshman
here
year.
we
I
go.
wrote a review of Twin Peaks and I coined my own term for what hardcore Twin Peaks fans were called: Twin Freaks. It was just a blatant lie. Like
Was
I
this
acted
what-
like it was a real. This is a term people threw around, and I
Yeah.
acted like it.
No, I
Yeah.
get it. And is this how you spent most of your high school career, just like making up terms and then laughing at them and being
No,
like, I'm the best,
I was in the marching band. Yeah,
and
just
then,
fucking
and then just
dominating.
wiping tears.
Wiping tears.
With your
There's no
clarinet.
tears left to cry, right?
That's true.
I was also in the jazz band.
All right, what
I'll
else?
bring my
What else we got on
saxophone in one of these
food?
times.
What else we got on food?
Well, a lot of shit, right? So like, Canadian Jess is talking about how annoying it is when you spend money and then they don't eat anything.
Well, yeah.
That's expensive. It's a waste, right?
Yes.
And then KSU Julie, who's a loyal listener, we mocked because she's from Kansas City and is a huge Chiefs homer.
Right. Okay. I think we talked about her last.
Yeah,
podcast,
we
I
did. That's
think,
what I'm
yeah.
saying, right?
Yeah.
So she said middle schoolers are a challenge because they eat so much.
I'm waiting to get there. It's
So like
still
in the
not
middle
there.
of the growth spurt, I guess. So here's one I wanted to bring up. So Jen Board mentioned how expensive formula is, and formula is super fucking expensive.
Yeah.
It's like the number one
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
to breastfeed, right? I don't
Right.
give a shit if you breastfeed or use formula. Fed is best, as they say. I couldn't care less how somebody else feeds their kid.
Right.
Sure. Do I find it a little bit unsettling if like there's a 7-year-old on some woman's teat?
Yeah, and you can't
know what?
see it
Sure.
because the stupid 7-year-old
Yeah, I
is in
mean,
the way. That's how it just.
Exactly.
God, do us all a favor and just.
I'm just saying the really old kids, like the little kid on Game of Thrones who suckles his aunt. He's like 11 years
my
old. It's
God.
just creepy, right? There's a reason that's
That was the
creepy in the
best.
show.
Have you seen
Because that's creepy in real life. His name's Robin, I think.
The absolute best. Have you ever seen the show Little Britain?
No, I know
Where
what it
the
is.
kid-
Yeah,
where
the sketch show.
The English guy. There's like the proper family, and he's like, "Mommy, Bitty." And the guy's like 38,
Oh,
and then
that's so gross.
The mom's like, "No, not now," and then eventually she succumbs, and then
busts it out.
There he is. Yeah,
Pops
Just
one out.
So great.
They don't show it on Little Britain, or is it an HBO show? or something?
No, they don't show it, but it's pretty. You get the idea. It's great. It's so funny. But that's one way to feed someone is through human breast milk.
That's true, yes. But what I'm saying is, like, if you're on formula, and the same thing happens, like, with diapers, right? If you're on formula, then you can't wait until the kid graduates to food
Yeah.
and you don't have to do formula anymore. And it's like, for like a year and a half,
Yes.
you have like fucking a little bit extra money.
Yeah.
Diapers too. It takes a little bit longer depending on when they are potty
potty
trained. But like not having to make that order of like
Right.
bulk diapers
Right.
is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That's why when you have kids for 5 years, one kid for 5 years, and then have another kid.
Yeah.
And you forget that shit, and now I'm fucking knee deep in diapers still. And the
Yeah.
fucking diaper genie,
The diaper
that
genie.
thing breaking is like haunts
Oh.
my dreams. Have we
Oh.
talked about this before?
That's the
Every
smell
time I fucking
of
so
a diaper genie.
diaper
It's
genie,
brutal.
it's like the fucking monolith in 2001, except it's white,
It's
right?
solid-
and
solid
inside
poop.
you push the
Solid
dirty
feces.
diapers, and like it closes as like a self-sealing plastic blue bag inside of it, right?
Right, 'cause
And
you
this
don't wanna
thing,
throw that stuff out with your
normal
dishes
trash, it
and-
seals it in, right?
Okay.
And so you load the thing up, and then you fucking open it. And first of all, when you open it and you put a diaper in, sometimes if you catch the fucking if that thing is, if
yeah.
you're downstream, holy shit, it's literally like getting punched in the face.
Yeah, it's intense.
And then you have to take it out and like cut the little blue thing and tie it off, and then fucking tie off the empty one, and then you fucking sling it over your shoulder, or you hold it like that as you walk it out to the trash.
Sling it over your shoulder. A gross Santa Claus.
Like you feeling lucky.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate Santa Claus.
You know, yeah, you wouldn't throw it over your shoulder.
By the way,
whatever.
this is a really good
It is
instructional
terrifying.
audio and hopefully video
over the
podcast,
shoulder.
yeah.
But it is absolutely terrifying to be walking with that thing, and to, like, if it breaks, your life is legitimate. Like, it's rock bottom.
You have to move. There's only one option.
You have to leave your
You
family.
gotta
You
leave.
can't go back
You gotta
inside.
move.
Odds are
Nope.
there's some on you.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to something else. I'm saying once they're done with diapers,
Yeah.
which are not like huge big ticket items, they're just consistent,
Yes.
and you have to keep replenishing them.
Yes.
Same with formula, which is a huge pain in the ass.
Formula, I'll give you for sure. Diapers, I don't remember being that big a deal, but it was annoying to have to do that. So food for me at this point, my thought was, okay, I'm going to spend a lot on food, a lot on diapers, and a lot on clothes.
Sure.
And it turns out, well, so
But
let's
you
talk
spend
about.
a lot on clothes too.
Well,
Because they keep outgrowing them, but you do hand-me-down
Well, we
city.
do- we
you
are,
have given
like-
us a lot. Thank you, Pete's
yes,
wife.
Yes.
I know her name. I just wasn't
That's
sure
right.
if it's common knowledge. So
No,
I'm not
that's
gonna
right.
spit it out
We
there.
give you guys all our hand, but we've been handed down.
But the funny thing is, I wear James's old shirts. The kid's a fucking behemoth. Real sweetheart, though. I
That's
love
funny.
him.
That's funny. No, but
Him and his 2 breakfasts.
he does. He's like a little hobbit. He's got unbelievably hairy feet.
Second breakfast.
Um,
that was gross.
But the clothes is really interesting. So grandparents will, any new clothes that my kids wear are all coming directly from grandparents.
Yeah, that happens.
And my
to us.
kids aren't at the age yet where they really kind of give a shit about what kind of clothes they're wearing.
Charlotte does.
She's starting to.
Shit.
She's starting to.
You
Yeah.
bleep that out, I guess.
No, whatever. It's
We'll ask her.
yeah. So yeah, that's my daughter who's now in middle school is starting to get aware of clothes, and obviously that's becoming much more important. But still, they'll wear the same stuff. Over
Not
and over
worried
again.
about like brands or anything. Just
Right,
if
but
it looks good,
we still are getting hand-me-downs from like
Other
her
people.
cousin, my
Well, you know
my
what?
nieces
It
and
takes
stuff.
a village.
It does. So in that respect,
You save some money on
Yeah,
clothes,
I mean,
sure.
clothes really haven't
Okay.
been a big one.
But
yet.
a lot of people, a handful of people, these 2 people, M. Lavely.
Yeah.
So I mentioned her once before, and then she commented after she listened that I pronounced her name correctly. No idea if I just pronounced it the same way I did the first time.
Okay.
So I'm saying M. Lavely, and that might be totally wrong.
Okay.
Maybe it's Lavely, and now I just fucking undid all my good work I had done
Okay.
if I had been pronouncing it correctly.
Go
Anyway,
on, Mike.
she said, "Why are shoes for tiny humans like $50?
Ugh.
What the fuck is that about?"
Yeah,
and
I
then
agree.
Bale of Hay said the same exact thing. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah, why
Right?
is these clothes are so
Yeah, they're
expensive.
disposable. Like the
Right.
shoes in particular, like they're outgrown
Yeah,
in like
exactly.
a week and a half.
And they cost the same amount as your shoes that you're going to buy or whatever, wear for
Yes.
like 3 years.
Yeah, you do. Like I beat my shoes into
Yeah.
the ground. I wear them
Yeah.
well past the expiration date, but the kids just can't.
Yeah, they
Because their
they're
feet just burst through, like what happened with Zion Williamson. Did you see that when his Nike shoe exploded in
Oh,
the
yeah.
conference or in the middle of the season?
Oh, that was a bad day for Nike.
Yeah, it was. Their stock actually dropped that
Oh
day
my God!
because
Honestly,
of the situation.
my heart
Goes
like,
out
just,
to Phil Knight.
Yeah, to the whole Nike corporation, to big Nike, to
Um,
big sneakers.
So somebody said that school uniforms were expensive, and I wanted to ask you:
Yeah, well, yeah, but
do you have
again,
to buy like the jacket with
we-
the patch on it or some shit?
no,
Gossip Girls.
we don't have. We're not in that kind of.
I'm
school.
saying, but is
We
this what
just
this
have,
woman's referring to, or just that you need to have like a whole bunch of the same outfit?
I think it kind
to
of depends.
rewear over and over.
It depends on how you go about it. I know for sure that most school uniform, like most schools, will have
It was
a swap.
Zoe Marie who
Will have
mentioned that. We
will
can
have some
ask her.
kind of swap, right? Where once you're done with your kids, it's like a
Once your kids graduate,
yeah, you
give
kind
us
of
that
bring
shit.
will give
Yeah.
it washed and you put it
Sure,
in
but
the
I'm
thing
just
and they'll
wondering,
wash it and then they'll.
What's the
like,
expensive part? I guess it's just you need to have multiple copies.
I mean, if you were to buy brand new like uniforms from wherever, normally it's like Land's End or L.L. Bean or some weird some
Yeah.
like high end.
I know some people that would do that.
You have
The
to buy
1%,
it
yeah.
from them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You
More
and
like-
your family.
Nah, I'm more like the 0.5%. So, so it is. It can be expensive. We don't do that. Everything my children own
Everything is everything.
is been handed
Hand
down.
down, and they're okay with that.
They don't know.
Yeah,
any
my
difference.
kid, my 8-year-old, doesn't have any real awareness.
I'm
There's
cool
a
with
couple
that.
of pieces of clothing where he's like, I'm not wearing that.
Yeah.
But it's not about like the quality or if it
Yeah.
like looks good. The one will say like a sentence on it. He doesn't like the sentence anymore, or
Yeah.
he's not into whatever that character is, right?
Right.
Outgrew it a little bit. But speaking of that, right? So like all of that shit is just shit you constantly need to replenish, and it's very annoying. But then I get a little bit older, and the big thing, the biggest thing that people said was daycare.
Yeah.
Including my sister-in-law, who commented and said daycare, because she has one in daycare right now. I have one in daycare right now.
Yeah.
And it is 3 days a week.
Yep.
4 hours a day.
Yep.
Lovely place. It's also like speech development is really helpful, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
But because the benefit of daycare, you're lucky if it sort of has some kind of learning. Not all of them do. Some of them are more of like a play group.
Yep.
But like you when you need some time.
Yeah.
And my wife, before I lost my job, was home alone and having to do errands and all that shit.
Right.
And like without some time away from the toddler, that can be tough. But
childcare, childcare is
so
the number
expensive.
with a bullet is a number one.
Got a ton of references to that.
that's
J Law went. Oli Bilchek. It's got to be a Belichick reference. Maybe I said it wrong. Sergeant Di, who's Diachason, who's one of our patrons. Yeah. Mrs. Bossy Pants added that childcare happens sometimes when they don't move out after school. After they graduate college and they're back in, you need to get some childcare for them.
Oh my God!
Cynical Parent is right. She says that it's basically a second mortgage payment, and a couple of people said that. Haley Sachs said it takes half her pay.
Yeah.
This is the thing. We talked about this, or we're going to talk about this when we do the working dads thing, or working parent thing. Is that if you're both working, you got to make sure that both of your jobs are like double the amount of daycare, or else why are you working? Right?
Exactly.
They need to be. You need to being paid more than tuition.
Yeah, from sitters to daycare, but daycare is unbelievably expensive. Unbelievably expensive. And like these schools, and especially we had our all of our kids went through Montessori school, and these it's just like
what's the deal with that?
It's really interesting. I have to say, it's
here we go.
You basically the kids. They have to do everything themselves.
Yep.
So you can't. The teachers.
So the school day is like 22 hours long.
And by everything, I mean
a boarding
my
school,
taxes.
obviously.
Yeah, and enter programs and robocalls.
No, see what I'm saying is it takes children a really long time to do everything. It was my joke.
But that's it. It's everything from taking their shoes off to washing their hands to putting stuff back. Everything they have to do all of that, and that's
even the first day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's and
then like it's like the army, and then you just fucking sit there. If the kid's not done, he stays in the corner trying to unvelcro his goddamn shoe.
And the best part is I went in and I observed a couple times, and it's amazing. It's just like you have
Is that how you get your kicks? Watching kids fail?
No. I mean, they didn't ask for me to come.
You
and
just
watch.
showed it. You were outside the window with like a trench coat,
fogging it up. Yeah. And just watching these kids in silence doing all these activities, it was really amazing. And of course, the minute they get home, take my shoes off.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing
Everything.
with my toddler.
It's like, nah.
They have
I don't want
no
to pick
patience
that
for fucking having to do anything themselves.
Hey, you, come over here and take this away. I'm done with this lollipop.
So
half eaten.
I wanted to bring this up really quick. So, do your kids have? I think you've given us some. Did we talk about this Magnetiles?
Yes.
So. We had some we talked about it. We had some hand-me-down Magnetiles.
We've definitely.
This has it's been like a month ongoing of my kids literally trying to kill each other over fucking Magnetiles. It's like goddamn Thunderdome.
Those are great.
They'll go into their respective rooms.
Yeah.
They share a room, and all of a sudden you'll hear a fucking. It's like a boxing match.
Yeah.
It's just it's not even a boxing match. What's something where you just scream?
Yeah.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf being performed in their bedroom where they just the Harpies, you're the queen of the Harpies. They're vicious to each other over fucking Magnetiles. It's insanity. But they're cheap. Magnetiles are cheap and they're a fun toy.
No,
actually.
they're not. They're not cheap.
They're not cheap?
No.
They're cheaper than the shit that we're talking about. Where you haven't gotten into toys. Somebody mentioned Legos. A little bit.
Well, now
1113
so we got
Legos.
childcare, but let's move into school.
See, that's the best kind of childcare in New York.
Yeah,
we're waiting for the hammer to go into universal pre-K.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be that is a wonderful gift.
But it's 2 years away because of where his birthday falls. And then it's just like you just wait. Wait. It's like hitting the lottery when all of a sudden you don't have to pay thousands of dollars a month for daycare. It's like, oh my god, it's like I got a raise.
I know. Well, it is. It's and also. We're in the city and we have we have public schools in suburbs obviously, but people send their kids to private schools and goddamn That's expensive.
1%. We
That
take
is.
a lot of cracks
Yeah.
at them, but they deserve it because they're fucking selfish
Yeah.
and they
No.
don't get taxed
No,
enough.
honestly, they pull
And
themselves
they're
up with the
every single one of
trucks.
them sure did, especially
Yeah.
head douchebag in charge,
Yeah. Who? are we talking
self-made
about?
billionaire,
Are we talking about Nate?
Trump,
Oh, okay.
obviously. We can get into that on my Instagram page. No offense. We like to scrap about it every once in a while. So school is good and bad in that it's free until they start doing extracurriculars and sports like we talked about.
Yeah.
And somebody mentioned Parabolic Motion mentioned dance class, which I know that you've done.
Yes.
And beyond.
We do dance. Yeah.
And the interesting thing about these extracurriculars, right? Mommy hates mornings. Mommy hates Mormons as well. Mommy hates mornings. Doesn't like extracurriculars because of how expensive they are, but they also eat up your time, right?
Yeah.
Whether you have to wait for them or bring them there, and sometimes it's just easier to just stay and wait for them to finish.
Yeah.
Sometimes you show up and you just wait outside for them, whether it's little league
Right.
or post school stuff.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Well, what's good is if you can combine two things together. So, for example, if you drop your kid off by a school and then you're also selling drugs, you
Yes,
can then
that's
also
true. You can
unload
offset that,
a lot
yeah.
of product
That's
onto
true.
these kids.
Or you can go to a bar and drink your dinner so that you don't need to buy food for
good
yourself.
point.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Because there's a lot of nutrients in
So
that.
there were a handful of times where like my kid was in like School of Rock, which was, it's like a kids rock band
Yeah,
school based. The branding of the movie somehow, I don't really know how that worked, although I love that movie. And I used to drop him off, and every once in a while I'd be really desperate to like just go to a bar and hang out,
Yeah.
because you never get to do that anymore in your life.
How come you can't? How long was the?
It wasn't quite long enough, right? Yeah. So it was like
You can just run to the bar, running
chug
sweaty,
real quick.
say, I need a beer, quick, Homer Simpson style.
Yeah.
Just chug a beer, and then head back. Yeah.
But I don't know, for whatever reason, it never ended up working out. And I always used to think it would be cool to like take my laptop to a coffee shop. I think I'm the first person to come up with that idea.
You might be.
But you never have enough time. You got to park. You got to deal with all this shit.
Yeah.
I never did that. I never felt comfortable. So your time is gone. Your money is gone. Your interest is gone. Like I couldn't care less about any of that shit.
You're a shell. A
You're-
walking
This is
shell.
what parenting does to you. I love this. The Nate is overjoyed to have fucking kids eventually someday. Listen to this. Just nonstop bitch fest.
Yeah.
Looking forward to my diaper genie.
Yeah, exactly.
The monolith.
Yeah.
The
So
monoshits.
wait, yeah, I mean college. Hopefully everyone has in the States has a 529, which is a
In the States, yeah.
college savings plan. Yeah, I know, because we can't send our kids to school without.
Well,
paying
SoCal
shitloads of money.
502 makes a great point in that what you really need is to pay somebody to take your kids' SATs for you and then pretend they're on the rowing team so you can get a scholarship.
That
like Lori
actually,
Loughlin.
that's a really good idea.
I was watching, or I saw some photos from like Lori Loughlin outside the courthouse and stuff.
Yeah.
That was in Boston, and people were like going up and they're like signing autographs and all this shit. And some dude went up to her and took a hug with her and got his picture taken. And he's wearing a hat that says "Rad" on it, which was a movie she was in the '80s about BMX bikers. It's just fucking hell track. It's great.
Okay.
That was my whole story.
Didn't
She
really
looks
land.
good though. She still looks good.
Okay, you're all over the road on this story.
You don't know the-
Okay,
I keep
we
forgetting
started-
we don't have the same
No,
frame
I
of
know.
reference.
We-
A lot
we
of people
started
would dig
on-
in on Rad with me,
Okay.
and we'd be talking about Rad for 10 minutes and
Yeah,
butt
but we-
sliding
we-
and Lori
okay.
Loughlin.
Great.
You're looking at me with a fucking blank
The
stare.
whole story right there.
There wasn't a
the-
story.
the
It was
whole-
just a
the whole
reference
story
to a, it
was
was a
about
reference
college
to a movie.
scamming, and then it turned into this movie Rad.
Well, what else do we have to say? What are we fucking
Okay, let's move on.
CNN?
then.
What do we have to say about the college scandal?
Yeah. One thing we're not is CNN.
that is the one thing we're not.
Oh, my
But
God.
anyway, you know what? Those people are scumbags, and I hope they go to jail for a long time.
Yeah. The whole of CNN or just certain?
Acosta,
Okay.
mostly.
Got it. So then there's some other folks I see that are talking about health insurance. which
Yeah,
is
again,
interesting.
another. It's like
I-
daycare where it's a necessary thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
there are no good options.
I think it's just one of those things. I mean, quite honestly, health insurance, it's a family plan. Once, I mean, you add people and it's a.
Well, what if you don't have a job like that? What if you don't have a job that gives
Yeah.
you fucking full-time benefits? Then it's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah,
I was
that's
at the health insurance. I lost my job.
Yeah.
I went to the health insurance
Cobra?
fucking
Ugh.
department. Yeah. Well, I wanted to avoid
What
it.
a disaster
So I went to the health
Cobra
insurance
is.
department to see like what I could get.
Yeah.
My wife has MS. I have fucking 2 kids, and they go on your previous income. And my previous income for a while
Yeah.
has been fucking solid because
Yeah.
I just got laid off.
Right.
So I don't qualify for anything.
Right.
Except something equivalent to what I pay off of Cobra.
Right.
And it won't be as good as Cobra because the Cobra, like my
Yeah,
Aetna is
yeah.
attuned to
Yeah,
all the shit I wanted,
Yeah.
right? And then it takes 3 weeks for the shit to get activated. Shit's still not activated for us.
What a country.
You know, the healthcare thing
What a
sucks. I don't want to
wonderful-
get political, right? I am moving to Canada soon for a variety of reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
But healthcare is fucking really expensive, and you can't not get your kids fucking healthcare.
I have one word for
Unfortunately.
you. Lapland. Unbelievable healthcare in Lapland.
You're just
Up
trying to
in
get me
Lapland.
out of here?
Yeah.
Maybe the Channel Islands.
There you go.
Although I assume they'll be. Are they part of?
They're part of England.
But they're
Great
part of
Britain,
England, right?
actually.
So
Great
they're
Britain.
leaving in Brexit if that happens. We're really hitting this some fucking
Yeah.
hardcore
we're
current
going,
event.
Maybe this
College
is CNN.
scandal,
Yeah.
Brexit. We talked a
Yeah.
little about Trump,
Yeah.
CNN. I love it.
God.
We're chopping it up.
Chopping it up. Okay, so then we got some bigger ticket items, right? We got
No. So here's something they said. Della MF. Well, she was talking about health insurance. Said trips to the ER. And sometimes
Yeah,
that happens
okay.
because your kid breaks his arm or he does some dumb shit. Like
Yeah.
my kid got hit in the face with a baseball like a jerk.
Right.
But he didn't have to go to the ER. But like lots of kids. My brother once was riding a zip glider.
Yeah.
And there was an accident. I'm not going to get into the gory details, right? There's an ER trip, right? And
Yeah.
those are things that you can't not do.
Yeah, of
And
course
then
you
you're
gotta go.
screwed.
Yeah, and then you got another $1,000 bill on your hands, which is always fun. Those are the fun ones where you kind of have that nice. You have your budget,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden you have.
But you don't even give it a second thought. Like it sucks, right? But there are certain things where like it's just a foregone conclusion. Like if my kid gets hurt, I gotta pay. If you
Yeah.
can't, it's a different story. Of
course.
Obviously, I'm just saying it's like it sucks to have to spend this much on this
No,
shit, but
of
there's no
course.
getting around
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
lot of cases.
Of course.
Which sucks because kids need to learn how to toughen up.
Yeah, come on, toughen up these
You don't
kids.
need stitches. Just
Now,
fucking-
speaking of toughening up, there's nothing that makes you tougher than buying 5 plane tickets.
oh my god, I can't even pull the trigger on
I mean,
2
just
plane
thinking
tickets.
about it makes me
so
good.
nervous.
Makes me feel great about my life.
Once they hit 2, they're no longer. They can't be a lap kid anymore,
Nope.
right? You have to
No,
buy them a
sir.
seat,
Yep,
and
you
that
gotta
is
buy them a seat.
outrageous.
And it is. Oh, but what's really great, when we're going to talk about this in an upcoming podcast, is traveling with kids.
Yes.
But the best part.
Well, we're both traveling next week in
We are.
different ways.
Yep.
You're flying and
I'm
I'm
flying and
driving, so
driving.
it'll be a good mix.
But buying tickets during a high travel season is, I don't know, the worst thing.
And in
ever
New York,
in the history of the world.
pretty much everybody has the same, at least in the city, everyone has
Everybody
the same spring break.
yeah,
So
sure.
like you're not
No
getting any
problem.
deals on anything.
I wouldn't say deals. I would say, what's the opposite where
Gouging.
someone puts their hand up your anus and
Wow.
then takes your wallet?
It's a wow. Why is your wallet in your anus, Pete?
Because that's how I like to travel.
Is this in prison?
No, honestly, I had some trips in Europe where
God, every once in
I
a
learned
while
some tricks.
we get
from-
a little
from
sneak
Sven.
of the real Pete
Yeah.
comes sneaking out. No
Yep.
snacks, but wallets up his anus.
Well, I'm sorry.
We all
Where
have
do
our
you guys
vices.
keep
We
your
all have our
wallets?
vices.
Where do you keep your wallets?
I'm not judging.
Jesus.
I'm not judging.
Yeah.
Trips are a nightmare, and Jay McMahon 650 mentions the flight thing. He mentions when you need to get like a bigger car, right? If you need a rental car where you're going.
Yes. Yeah.
We're still at the stage where we only need like one hotel room, but that is coming up, changing
double
pretty
hotel
soon.
rooms. You have to do it. It just does. It's not. First of all, the hotels won't let you sleep 5 in a.
Oh well, we don't
most-
have 5. We have 4, so we get 2 double beds and we
most
make
of
it
them
work.
won't let you. Well, not. I shouldn't say most of them. There are limitations.
But I mean, you find yourself trying to cut corners, right? So like.
Yeah.
Because it's so expensive, we went to a Red Hoof Inn once. Red Hoof Inn.
Yeah.
It was a barn.
super low rent.
The red
roof.
roof inn, and
Yeah.
we had a pack and play
Yeah.
because the kid was too little to sleep in a bed.
Yeah.
And then we would shove that into the bathroom,
Of course, you got to do
and
that.
sometimes it
Or
would
in the
sit
closet.
on the fucking
tub?
jammed up against the
Yeah,
wall, and you'd
yeah.
be panicking that he wasn't gonna make it. But yeah, guess what?
He didn't.
You
make
can't
it.
have the crying baby.
That
Like
was
you
your
can't watch TV with the baby sleeping
No.
in your room with you.
And the good news is every time you go to the bathroom, you wake him up. So
Oh my
that's
god,
cool.
absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
We would go drink outside in the hallway. Until the
what a
kids fall
life.
asleep, we would
I
sit
know,
down in
I
the
know.
hallway,
Yep,
right? Because
just
we're not
there you
going
go.
out. What are you going to get, a babysitter?
You can see
At a hotel?
I've seen.
You can
parents
do
and
that,
I've
like
done that.
care.com. I've done that. I did that in Ireland. We got a babysitter when we stayed at a B&B.
Yeah.
First, at a B&B, we let the B&B lady take care of the kid.
Yeah.
And then when we went to a hotel in Dublin, we had like a service
Yeah.
take care of the kid. The entire time you're out, you're like half fucking shitting your pants
Yeah,
that your
'cause
kid
you're
is
like-
gone. But at the same time,
Hey,
they're
what a
cheaper
financial-
than a
yeah,
lot of the
financial
other
windfall.
babysitters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. They both, I have them both still.
You
Neither
still
one was
have them?
kidnapped. Yeah,
Okay.
I still have both my kids. They
What
were
about
fine.
the babysitter from Ireland? Do you still have her? Is she
We're
on
still
the-
in touch.
Okay, cool.
We're friendly.
Yeah, nice.
I don't even know her. I couldn't tell you her name. Lovely woman.
You
I
can
think.
tell. You can tell.
I don't
me
speak
her name.
Irish.
Okay.
So I don't know how we got into that one.
Okay. Well, we were talking about
Trips
and plane tickets and hotels.
So one of the things I was going to bring up, so we're taking a road trip, and like it's long.
Yep.
And we don't want to stop for a hotel room if we don't have to.
Yeah.
It's like 12 hours, so we're trying to time it so we don't have to get a hotel room because
the kids can just sleep in the car.
Yeah, well, we drive, hopefully, except they won't fall asleep. The last time we did this, they stayed up until like 11 at night. But we also try to occupy them with fucking, mostly that means tablets or screen time. And we got our son a video game, but it's not arriving in time for the fucking drive down. He's going to be so pissed off.
Especially if you keep bringing it up.
But he's going to have it on the way back because we're having it sent to where we're going.
Okay, that's good.
But you need that. Otherwise, they're not going to be quiet.
You know what I'm seeing here that we haven't really touched on? We touched on it a little bit, but speaking of babysitters, is just your regular, good old-timey babysitter. Just and whether you
this is going to be its own episode.
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, we have
a lot of babysitter material.
We have to have a number of babysitters.
Oh my God! You need backups.
Yeah, you can't have one because everyone's busy.
Ours are totally different.
But everyone's style is so different, but just what happens is my work pays me, and then it's basically there for about 2.5 seconds before it goes directly into 10 different people's accounts directly, just to like support the amount of childcare that we need on a.
Well, you pay for the babysitter and then you go out to dinner.
Oh,
so
that's
it's like doubling the fucking date.
That's always the best.
Like if you're out for like 4 hours to get your money's worth, you got to stay out for a certain amount of time, or it's a wasted night, right? And then you're spending basically double on what you would spend if you didn't have a babysitter. Which is why if you have like grandparents or like in-laws to watch your kids,
that's sort of where it starts.
We don't have any of that.
No, we have
they all
nothing.
live states away.
Yep. So we pay through the nose, which is the
parenting's expensive, man.
Yeah, it is expensive.
It is incredibly expensive,
it's
and a lot of it.
Bottom.
You knew it. You knew it going in. You knew it was going to be expensive. Maybe you didn't know about what things,
I'm
but
terrified about this whole college thing that's coming.
Oh, me too. My kids aren't going to college.
Yeah. Just like electrician.
Learn to fucking code.
Even electrician.
Bitch.
I mean, come on. Any schooling is
trade school.
Yeah, it's all expensive. So.
Yeah, look, my kids are too young to worry about whether they even have the fucking wherewithal to get through any kind of graduate program.
Great trade to be in.
What would?
Electrician.
Sure. So would plumber. All those things are clutch.
It's funny.
Guess what? People ain't stopping shitting anytime soon.
It is.
They're always going to need a plumber, right, Nate?
It's amazing you're not like a titan of industry with words of wisdom like that. People aren't going to stop shitting anytime soon.
You know what? Sometimes you got to state the obvious.
Yeah, and you do all the time.
So we talked about, like, that's the thing you don't realize is all the incremental things that add up, that the small parts of parenting, the everyday shit that adds up. And we talk about some of the big ticket stuff, right? But then there's some of the just the intangibles, like we said, the time that you lose, the sleep that you lose. Yeah. There's no free time left. There's never enough sleep. Your sanity that you lose. A handful of people said that. Chow Bella Ford, Jen Board, Megan Burzell, Alicia Mowry, who's from Nunavut.
They actually equate their mental sanity to money, to like cost.
Who does
this?
Yeah, no, they're saying that, like, that's, well, I asked them a question. I said, what are the most expensive parts about parenting? And basically what they're saying is it costs me time, it costs me my sanity. Right. It costs me.
It's a high cost.
Yes. Yeah. And I agree with them. There are times where you really feel, Undoctored Seda said that too. Just want to give everybody a shout. Yeah. Some interesting names.
Oh, and I see one. I think we've pretty much covered most of it, but the big one that we didn't talk about, vacation related.
Yeah.
The big D.
Wow. Well, I usually don't have to pay for mine, so. Not that I swing that way. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I'm talking about Disney.
Oh, no, haven't done it.
I'm talking about Disney.
With a Z and 2 E's and an accent.
Man. You have to save.
Have you done it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
We had to save. We're
rich motherfucker.
No, we're paying it off. What are you talking about? We live on the street. We live underneath a big QE in a tent. But at least my kids went to, or
Disney World.
Some
did
of
they
my
care?
Kids, they still talk about it. Yeah.
But did they give a shit about Disney before it? They're like into not
no,
the way we were as kids. We were all into all those Mickey Mouse.
They weren't into it.
Maybe you weren't. You fucking English lobster back.
they weren't necessarily into it. Like they weren't dying to go, but once they went,
Yeah, well, once you're there,
like,
it's an amusement park and the rides are awesome. But what I'm saying is,
the experience.
it didn't have the
awesome.
same cachet. Although there's all Pixar shit and that kind of stuff.
The whole thing was that'll be a separate one, but
Disney. Should Disney be an entire one?
I became a Disney convert.
If Disney sponsors me and Pete to take our families on a trip, we will give you several episodes of content and blog posts.
And it'll all be
I'll patch
positive.
it all in. All positive. I wrote about it once before about like how when we were kids, Disney was like, look, it's still obviously one of the biggest entertainment corporations in the world in a variety of ways, but like the original Disney characters like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Goofy and Pluto and the Wonderful Wild World of Disney and those cartoons, they were huge. They were a huge part of my life. Winnie the Pooh, and now it's like
it's all these characters like the
it's like Captain America. That's owned by Disney.
Yeah, that's now just recently owned. But the point is all the Disney characters like the Frozen,
like Fievel. Remember that? An American Tale. Is that Disney?
I don't think that's Disney.
It is.
I think that was some DreamWorks or something.
DreamWorks wasn't around yet.
What do you mean DreamWorks?
DreamWorks wasn't around when An American Tale came out.
Really?
Yeah. The first DreamWorks movie is like Ants or something.
Oh.
With a Z. With Sylvester Stallone and Woody Allen. Is that the one?
Oh my god.
There's another ant that's a Bug's Life.
Bugs
Life is one of the first Pixar movies. It's fucking really good. Bugs Life.
Bugs Life.
Good.
I have
not considered one of like the peak ones, but it was really cute.
Yeah, but I guess I'm saying Frozen, Snow White, the princesses. Tangled.
It's Princess Eye.
Prince Eye.
Yeah.
Princess Eye.
Prince Eye is multiple princes, as in the Paisley Prince.
Anyway,
Paisley
I was just
Park
trying
is
to
where
make
you
a
live.
point that it's really, really expensive to go to Disney.
Oh, I'm aware. I think everyone who's listening to this is aware, right? Sometimes we go to Dutch Wonderland and they give me blogger passes
Wonderland.
Yeah, so
What
it's
the
in
fuck
Dutch
is
country
that?
in Pennsylvania.
Dutch Wonderland.
Dutch country
You
in
have,
Pennsylvania.
immediately have a beard and
No, you're
walk
just
around?
around Amish people and
Okay.
Dutch people, right? And,
all the woods are. All the
well, there's
rides are
lots of
wooden.
those places you go. I don't know what they're called, bazaars or whatever. I'm losing the word where they sell their fudge and all and their fucking butter. You never been to like an Amish
And
country?
that's why you say, "Boy, this is bizarre."
But you've never
There's
been to.
lot of
You know
fudge
what a
here.
bazaar is? B-A-Z-A-R?
I do. They're in Morocco mainly.
Okay, Jesus Christ. You know what? They're in the Bible too.
Okay.
Look it up.
Is that why
How
you
about
said
that?
Jesus Christ and you took his
Superstar.
name in vain?
We'll get into that another episode. Whether or not when my mom
Are you
called me
talking
and
about
begged
an
me to
Amish
baptize my
market,
kids.
like
Yeah, I'm just talking. They sell their like a Reading terminal in fucking Philadelphia. There's like a fair amount of it is dedicated to Amish people who are
So you take your
selling
kids,
their wares.
You take your kids to an Amish
No,
market. Where
it's an
you
amusement
get,
park
like,
in
10 pounds of
I
olives.
said it was an amusement park in Dutch country.
Look, kids,
Holy
this
shit!
is what disappointment looks like. Feast your eyes on all these olives.
They love it.
You smell that? That's cheese.
You know what?
Over here,
First of all,
there's bread.
they love it.
None of this was made with
This
manufacturing.
guy won't let me get a word in. Holy shit!
Boy,
Cool
your
it.
kids.
You're insulting a lot of our Amish listeners.
Okay. Sneaking.
There's an amusement park
Sneaking
nestled in that
podcasting.
area, which is for younger kids, right? So it's like the best roller coaster is tame, right? For the most part.
It's just like a train
but
track.
No, but it's because the Amish people have to pedal to make it work because they don't have electricity. No, look, it's a fun place. My wife grew up going there, so
Okay.
we've gone there a few times. They've
Okay.
given me blogger passes, so
Okay.
I didn't have to pay.
Okay. We get it. You're a
Hurt my
big time
back
deal.
there a handful of times. I'm a
Your
big
back?
fucking time deal. Yeah, and a rickety old fucking roller coaster that's built for 12-year-olds. Yeah, it hurt my back.
Pulled by a horse.
Now I have sciatica. It should be its own episode. Why would it be its own episode?
Decrepit,
It's the big
boring
bad of the
ads.
season. It's got a long tail.
Well, we really covered the
We
shit
didn't
out
talk
of
about
this topic.
braces. Did you have braces?
I had braces,
Are your kids gonna have
but
braces?
for no avail. My teeth are.
Your
went
teeth are
back.
lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Are your
I don't
kids
think-
getting braces?
Yeah, my kids will definitely need
Because
braces.
Cat 743 says $5,000.
Cat 473.
And braces are one of those things. Are those one of those things you
God
need, like
damn
the
it, really?
flexible spending account,
Uh,
where you throw if you know your kids are getting braces, you're like hold off in 2 years so I can. Although you have to use it every year.
743. Cat 743.
5,000. That's what I'm saying. You got 3 kids who need braces.
Damn it!
Just get them dentures. Just knock them out and get them dentures.
Boom. One go.
And then there's therapy, not covered by insurance. You know, some kids need therapy.
Yeah.
You know, they offer some kind of like counseling and stuff at my school for my kids.
My kids will definitely have therapy.
My kids are definitely going to need adult
once they
therapy,
start
right?
Listening
Yeah.
to this thing.
Well, yeah, no. Once they read my blog, that's what people say.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to fucking be devastated. Guess
Tell
what?
those people to shut up.
I do tell them to shut up regularly.
Good. Look at you, master of the internet.
If you don't want me to tell you to shut up, pay me. Via Patreon.
Man,
Patreon,
you are. So, are you sure
subscribe.
you're not a sales guy? You
So
sound like a sales
I
guy.
once I made a thing about making fun of people who give goodie bags before flights, where they say, "Please forgive us for our kids being fucking loud." And I made my own fake goodie bag, and in it was like
Suck
a
it,
coupon to
asshole.
meet me at Hudson Yards for a fist fight. If you get one of my goodie bags, it's like a fuck you bag. We'll do flying with kids maybe next week.
Yeah.
No,
so
although your stories will probably be pretty tame. You're not going to get in anybody's face unless they say they like Dutch Wonderland, which inexplicably you despise.
Exactly. No, just anytime someone takes their anytime someone takes their kids to
well, what about Hershey Park? How about Hershey Park
vacation,
which is also in Pennsylvania, which doesn't have any. It's
Hershey
near.
Park?
It's in. It's near Dutch country-ish.
Yeah.
And in the country, but you're not making fun of that.
No, because I think it's supposed to be really fun.
I know, but Dutch Wonderland's pretty fun.
Okay. Well, you know what, Mike? Let's take a deep breath.
We will.
And
I need a timeout. You need a timeout.
I think we're good. I think we covered this. Let us know what we missed.
Yeah, so I think that's one thing we'd be more than happy to do is, next episode, if there's some other shit, we can start off the episode talking about some of the, we need like somebody who corrects our mistakes for us, right? What did we miss? What did we get wrong? We do.
All of a sudden the internet breaks.
I'm not afraid of the truth.
Believe me, the truth is out there, my friend.
That's a nice, timely reference, Pete.
So if you want to comment,
If you want me to not tell you to shut up, throw some money at us on Patreon.
Is that right?
It was a callback.
No, I think maybe
joke.
those people who are paying us can tell us to shut.
Damn right. You give us money, I'll do whatever you want, my man.
But if you do want to
join
comment,
the big five who are already patrons.
We want to read your name. We want to read it,
and we want to hear your comments. You guys were great this week. When I ask on Instagram, I ask on my Instagram stories. Some prodding for some topic and some stuff to talk about. You guys gave us a ton of stuff. I try to shout out as many people as I can.
And hop over to, we're on YouTube, so you can comment there as well about the specific episode. We'd love to get a conversation going there specifically about that.
You know what I want to get?
Instagram's a little tough to do that.
I want to get more subscribers on iTunes and a lot of action because I want to get featured in like new and noteworthy section.
Could you imagine?
We need engagement and interactivity. You know how many people would start listening to us then?
4 more.
So many people would know about your vomit bowl. Are you sure you're ready for this?
It's called puke bowl.
Are you ready for the fame and what it's going to take from you?
Bowl.
The engraved puke bowl. You're an engraved puke bowl.
On that note, thank you very much.
Yeah, we love you guys. Next time.
We'll talk to you next time.
Platonically.
Not me, sexually.